Hi, passionate Rangers FC fans. Welcome to Rangers Update, your dedicated source for all things Rangers. Before we dive in, we want to express our gratitude for your unwavering support. If you bleed blue, don't forget to subscribe, smash that like button, and let's strengthen our community. Now, let's get into the latest updates. A hearty welcome to our new followers. Your backing means the world to us. Let's get to the news. Victor Torp, arriving at Rangers due to take charge of the midfield, has the whole Scottish football world buzzing. And not just because the club seems to be plotting another seismic shift in their midfield identity. The whispers in the corridors of Ibrox are growing louder, and the way this transfer story is being framed suggests that the club isn't merely signing a player, but investing in a new era of control and creativity. Torp's name has been circulating in conversations among pundits and fans alike, and the rumour mill is painting him as the missing piece in a squad that has, at times, looked like it lacks a conductor. It's the kind of signing that feels like a statement. Rangers are not just competing for titles. They are trying to build a midfield engine that can dictate games in a way that intimidates opponents before the first whistle. And that, my friends, is exactly the sort of narrative Rangers supporters love, because it feels like ambition with a clear plan behind it. If this rumor is true, we could be witnessing the beginning of a midfield makeover that changes the club's style of play for seasons to come. Now, the interesting part is how Torp fits into the existing Rangers blueprint. This isn't just a random acquisition, it's a strategic move, and it makes sense when you consider the kind of midfield problems the team has had. There have been matches where Rangers have looked dominant in possession but lacked the final spark to turn control into goals. And then there have been games where the midfield has been overrun, leaving the defense exposed and the attack starved of service. Torp's profile, according to the rumor, is exactly what you'd want if you're trying to solve both issues at once. He is the type of midfielder who can hold the ball under pressure, make the right pass at the right moment, and still contribute defensively without looking like a player who has forgotten he has to track back. The hope is that he brings a calmness to the center of the park, a sense of assurance that the team can build from the back without rushing, and that the transition from defense to attack becomes smoother, quicker, and more intelligent. If you listen to the insiders, the bigger story is not just Torp's ability, but the message his arrival sends. Rangers have been trying to establish themselves as a club that can attract talent with real potential, not just established stars. This rumor suggests they are willing to bet on a player who can grow with the team, become a key figure, and perhaps even be the type of signing that changes the perception of Rangers in the transfer market. It's the kind of move that signals confidence, because you're essentially saying we know what we want and we believe we can develop players to fit that vision. It also suggests that the club's scouting and recruitment has been doing its homework, because Torp is the kind of midfielder who, if properly integrated, can become a leader without needing to be the loudest voice in the dressing room. He can lead with his actions, and that is often what makes a midfield player truly influential. The rumor, therefore, is not just about a player arriving. It is about Rangers trying to redefine their midfield identity and their approach to building a squad. Of course, there will always be skeptics, and the rumor mill is already producing its fair share of questions. People will ask whether Torp can handle the pressure of playing for Rangers, where expectations are never quiet and the scrutiny is intense. They will wonder if he can adapt to the physical demands of Scottish football which is famously relentless, and whether he can perform consistently in a league where every match feels like a cup final. But this is where the excitement comes in, because if Torp is indeed the player Rangers are after, then he is not being brought in as a quick fix. He is being brought in as someone who can mature into a key component of the team, and that is exactly the kind of gamble that can pay off in a big way. It is also worth noting that Rangers have a history of players arriving and instantly becoming fans' favourites because they show grit, intelligence, and commitment. If Torp brings those qualities, then the skepticism will quickly turn into belief, and the rumour will shift from speculation to a new chapter in the club's midfield story. What makes this rumour even more intriguing is the potential tactical impact. Rangers have often relied on a certain type of midfield structure, and the arrival of Torp could indicate a shift towards a more possession-oriented approach, or at least a more balanced one. The idea of a midfield that can control the tempo, switch play, and provide clean, incisive passes to the forwards is a tantalizing prospect for any manager. If Torp is the player they believe can provide that, then the team's style of play could evolve into something more fluid and adaptable. That would make Rangers harder to predict, harder to press, and harder to beat. Opponents would no longer be able to rely on the same strategies to disrupt the team's rhythm. The rumour, therefore, is not just about adding a player. It is about adding a dimension to the team that could change how Rangers are viewed on a tactical level. And that is the sort of transformation that can have a ripple effect, improving not just the midfield, but the entire squad's confidence and performance. Now, let's talk about the fans, because this is where the rumour truly gains momentum. Rangers supporters are not just hungry for success, they are hungry for identity. They want to see a team that plays with intelligence, pride, and a clear purpose. The arrival of a player like Torp, if the rumour is true, could give them something to rally around. It would feel like a sign that the club is not only aiming for titles, but also building a team that can sustain success over the long term. Fans love a signing that suggests long-term planning, and Torp fits that narrative perfectly. He is the kind of player who can become a central figure, not just because of his ability, but because he represents a certain philosophy. If he comes in and performs as expected, the fans will not only appreciate his contributions on the pitch, but also what he represents off it. Ambition, vision, and the desire to build something lasting. But let's not forget the human side of the story, because rumors often miss that part. Moving to a new country, adapting to a new culture, and dealing with the weight of expectation is never easy. Torp, if he is indeed coming to Rangers, will need time to settle. He will need support from the coaching staff, his teammates, and the fans, and that is where Rangers' environment could either make or break the rumour. The club has a passionate fan base, and that can be a double-edged sword. It can lift players to new heights, but it can also be unforgiving when things don't go right. The hope, of course, is that Torp is the type of character who thrives under pressure, who uses the noise as fuel rather than distraction. If he does, then this rumour could become one of the most exciting stories of the season, because it would show that Rangers are not just buying talent, but building resilience and personality into the team. The more you think about it, the more the rumour starts to feel like a turning point. Rangers have been searching for that midfield anchor, the player who can make everything else easier. If Torp is the answer, then the club could be setting itself up for a period of dominance. A midfield that controls the game is a midfield that wins matches without needing to rely on moments of brilliance. It becomes a machine that wears down opponents, creates chances, and protects the defense. And that is exactly what Rangers have been missing at times. The rumor suggests that the club's leadership is aware of this gap and is ready to address it in a way that is bold and strategic. It is not just about signing a name, it is about signing a solution. And if Torp can deliver even half of what the rumor promises, then Rangers could be on the verge of a new era of midfield mastery. Now, let's consider the possible implications for the rest of the squad. If Torp arrives and integrates successfully, it could free up other players to perform in roles that suit them better. The forwards could receive cleaner service. The wide players could get more opportunities to attack, and the defense could feel more secure knowing the midfield is capable of controlling the space in front of them. This kind of ripple effect is often overlooked in transfer rumors, but it is crucial. A single signing can change the entire dynamic of a team, and that is what makes this rumor so compelling. It is not just about adding a new player, it is about reshaping the team's structure and mindset. If Rangers are truly aiming to be a force not only in Scotland but also in Europe, then this type of midfield transformation is essential. The rumor suggests that the club is thinking bigger, and that is always a thrilling prospect for fans who want to see Rangers return to the heights of their best years. The timing of the rumor also adds an extra layer of intrigue. It comes at a moment when Rangers are being talked about more seriously than ever, and the club's ambitions are under the spotlight. The idea of Torp arriving now when the team is ready to take the next step makes the story feel even more plausible. It's the kind of signing that would make people sit up and take notice, because it would signal that Rangers are not satisfied with being good. They want to be exceptional, and that is the kind of mentality that can drive a club to new heights. The rumor, therefore, is not just about the player, but about the club's mindset. It suggests a hunger for improvement, a refusal to settle, and a belief that Rangers can compete at the highest level. That is the kind of narrative that gets fans excited, and it is the kind of story that can define a season. Now, as we move into the second part of this rumor story, it's worth asking what the potential downside could be. Every transfer has risks, and Rangers would be aware of that. Torp's success would depend on how quickly he adapts, how well he handles the pressure, and whether he can stay fit and consistent. The club would also need to ensure that the rest of the squad supports him properly, and that the manager's tactics are designed to get the best out of his strengths. If any of these elements are missing, the rumor could turn into a disappointment. But that is what makes football so unpredictable and exciting. The best stories are the ones where the gamble pays off, where the player arrives and transforms the team. And if Torp is indeed coming to Rangers, then everyone involved will be hoping that this rumor becomes a reality that exceeds expectations. Before we continue, make sure to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications to get all the exclusive news about Rangers FC. Don't overlook any details about your beloved team. It's crucial for Rangers FC fans. The more you listen to the chatter, the more it feels like Rangers are not just signing a midfielder, they are signing a philosophy. Torp is being portrayed as a player who can bring intelligence, control, and a calmness that the team has sometimes lacked. If he can deliver on that promise, then Rangers could be set up for a season where they dominate the midfield battles, dictate the tempo, and impose their style on every opponent. That is the kind of football that wins titles, and it is the kind of football that Rangers fans want to see. The rumor, therefore, is not just exciting because of the player, but because of what he represents, a step towards a more sophisticated and commanding Rangers. It's a sort of story that makes you believe the club is thinking long-term and that they are ready to build a team that can compete consistently at the top. And finally, let's not forget the drama that comes with every rumor, whether this turns out to be true or not. The mere possibility of Victor Torp joining Rangers has already sparked debate, speculation, and hope. Fans are already imagining the midfield combinations, the style of play, and the potential impact on the team's success. That is the power of a rumor like this. It creates anticipation, it fuels conversation, and it gives supporters something to dream about. If the club can make this move happen, it could be one of the most talked about signings in recent memory. And if it doesn't, the rumor will still have served its purpose, reminding everyone that Rangers are a club with ambition, a club that is always looking for ways to improve, and a club that refuses to settle for anything less than greatness. Whether it's true or not, the story of Victor Torp arriving at Rangers to command the midfield is the kind of speculation that makes football so thrilling. Fans and commentators continue to speculate about how Kuntz will fit into Rangers' tactical identity, particularly given the club's ambition to blend youthful exuberance with seasoned reliability. Rumors suggest that his role could fluctuate depending on match context, oscillating between a creative orchestrator in midfield and a more advanced link between midfield and attack, exploiting pockets of space that allow him to dictate tempo. Analysts point to his German football education as a key differentiator, highlighting the disciplined structure, positional awareness, and tactical intelligence instilled from youth levels, which could give Rangers an edge in controlling transitions and executing high-tempo pressing strategies. Celtic supporters, meanwhile, are reportedly engaging in heated debates about whether the old firm's historical dominance and resources can compensate for the missed opportunity of a talent like Kuntz, questioning if the club needs to accelerate its focus on younger prospects or risk losing another generation to rivals. Media speculation has also turned to potential narratives surrounding his debut, with outlets imagining scenarios ranging from immediate heroics to gradual integration, each scenario feeding fan excitement and anxiety in equal measure. The discourse surrounding Kuntz, therefore, extends far beyond his immediate skill set, encompassing tactical innovation, youth strategy, fan psychology, and the broader shifting dynamics of Scottish football. Every training session, friendly and early match performance is now viewed through the lens of anticipation, speculation, and the unrelenting search for clues about the transformative impact of this signing. Greetings, fans. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, as it's greatly appreciated by Rangers FC. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments section below. Until the next video, stay tuned.